This is Dabu 7. We have a serious situation in this country in terms of food processing plants getting destroyed by fire. And you can see here just on the list I have on the screen. This is one too many to just be a coincidence. You can see here, meat processing facility taken out. A meat company taken out. Another beef plant taken out, all in different areas, from Nebraska to Alabama. You can see here's one in Alabama. Tyson Poultry, hit by a fire. Fire shuts down the Hot Pocket plant in Jonesboro. Wisconsin River Meats gets hit by a fire. Fire destroys Deli Star Meat Plant in St. Clair. Explosion in a fire at the potato chip plant. Fire causes $100,000 in damages at a San Antonio food processing plant. It goes on and on and on. It's just what you can fit here in one image to see. There's something massive happening here. Some saying that it's an engineered collapse of all of this. We know for sure there's something big going on, and there has been. The powers that be orchestrating all of this for control. It started with the ports, the congestion on the West Coast, which we still have not received our packages we've been waiting on for 2 years. Then it shifted gears, and now we find ourselves sitting right here, where they're going back and saying that everything that's happening with China at its ports are also going to affect us here. When they look at everything being shipped out of their ports, there's a massive downturn in terms of the freight. And here in America, they're saying that everyone's just leaning on their credit card more and more to survive. They are going to get tapped out here soon, and people are not going to have anything to fall back on. I'm going to leave some links that break down exactly what the
Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, because those are the men that I learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai. Yahweh is the true name of the God of Israel. Yahushai is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his one and only true name is Yahushai. And pretty much this is going to be a short video, Lord willing. You're edified and you learn something from this video. Now, this video that I'm doing is going to be about famine, all right? Because, see, now the average person all around the world, but beginning here at the focal point of prophecy, Babylon the Great, which is America in the Bible, most American people are starting to wake up to the fact that their government is evil, all right, and that they're behind these false flag events that's been happening, that they've been staging on the news. Now the information has been coming out in the form of video, public information that used to be a conspiracy, but now is proven to be a fact. How all these news media stations is controlled, and what they show you is not really real things for the most part. All right. A lot of these things that be going on is staged, and it gets exposed by insiders. All right. So we're going to deal with man-made famines, because you have to understand that concerning the video you just seen with Dabu 7, with these food plants, being burnt down, obviously that would have to be agent provocateurs or people that was paid to do that. Just like how you have with the Black Lives Matter movement, you had Antifa. Who funded that? George Soros. What nation, according to the Bible, does George Soros come from? The nation of Edom, all right? Which, according to the Bible, you so-called white people, all right, the so-called white man and his seed line, you are the descendants of Esau, Edom. And all these events that's happening on the planet Earth because of Bible prophecy through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Yahushai, all right? But ultimately, it's happening through you Edomites. You Edomites are the ones that's staging these events for your New World Order agenda, ultimately to deceive the world population into taking this, all right, the MOTB, which we know what this is according to the scriptures, as you see right here, that implantable device, all right? And this is what they're leading up to. So in order to get you to comply with this, They have to stage events. They have to deceive your mind. They have to brainwash you with lies and propaganda, all right, through the media, through the news, through celebrities, through your brainwashed parents, co-workers, all right? They got to have that all around you, billboards. So this is what's going on. It's like even in the West Coast and in the East Coast, when they had the cargo ships that was bringing the goods, that was blocking, the ship path, and they couldn't come to drop off the goods, that's all staged. That's there on purpose. Why? Because these governments that's ran by Esau Edom, they want you to take that thing. And you know what thing I'm talking about, that V, that venom shot, all right? And the venom shot is a prelude to what you see on the screen. So they want to shut down things and cause a famine, all right, and bring back this disease outbreak in order to get you to comply with their agendas. And this leads me to what? Something called social conditioning, which I'm going to read it. It says social conditioning is the psychological, process of training individuals in a society to respond in a manner generally approved by the society in general and peer groups within society. The concept is stronger than that of socialization, which is the process of inheriting norms, customs, and ideologies. All right. So what's the ideologies? What's the agendas to get you to take that V? All right. To get you to take that shot, so to speak. You have to speak like that in code so that your videos don't get flagged for medical misinformation, because all of my channels have 2 strikes except this one. All right. So this is why I have to speak in code like this. So this is what these devils are doing. Now, the same way how you see China is going into a lockdown, best believe more than likely another lockdown will occur here in America, which is Babylon the Great. And no, you will not get no stimulus or none of that stuff. All right. Those days is over. They already gave you 4 stimulus checks. They gave you unemployment. And you people, you got so comfortable and relying on the government, which that's the social conditioning that they did. All right. So now these different things are happening, man-made famines, to what? To get you to comply and to listen to the government. And since you people don't want to listen, all right, this is what the government that's ran by Esau Edom, this is what they're doing. So when you go into the word famine, it means extreme scarcity of food, right? A shortage. So now let me show you that that's in the Bible. But who's to blame for these man-made famines, though? This is the book of Sirach 12 and 17. If adversity come upon thee. Now, what's adversity? All right. Adversity is difficulties, misfortune. All right. What they consider bad luck, trouble, difficulty, hardship, distress. Right. So this is what it's saying, because you always got to point the blame at the people that got the right and the power to change people's lives. All right. The people that print the money, the people that own these food restaurants, the supermarkets, so forth and so on. All right. These people, if they really wanted to, they could end world hunger, but they don't want to do that because they have an agenda, and it's written on the Georgia Guidestones. Maintain the human population, the world population, at 500 million. Now, keep in mind, there's over 8.8, maybe more billion people in the world. All right. So why do they want to get rid of so many people? They're going to starve people out. They have their different ways. So the Bible exposes the root of the problem, who's causing it. Because you people, you like to say shadow government this, Illuminati this. Oh, it's the Masons. You throw all these buzzwords around. But what the hell do these people look like? Who's to blame? What do they look like? Is there a lineage of them? So when you read the scriptures and you get the proper understanding from the men of the Lord, beginning with the apostles of Great Millstone on down, you understand that it's Esau. Because the scriptures say that what? Pursuing the 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, Esau is the end of the world, meaning the end of this present age, meaning what? That they're ruling. All right. The scriptures talk about how the deadly wound was healed. Who was ruling during the Roman Empire? When you look at those Roman Empire statues of the people that was ruling, the different Caesars for the most part, all right, what do they look like? They look like Edomites. You look at the Greek Empire, they look like the so-called white man and so-called white woman and child, all right, because it's the same people coming back in their lot, ruling again. So it's the same thing. So they're the ones that's causing these difficulties and the hardships. All right. So it says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. Who's the him? The person that's in power. All right. Who's in power when you look at the money? Whose face is on it? Now, if you're in a different country and your particular nation's face is on the money, well, where does the money come from? Who's in charge of that? The central bank. Then that's going to lead you to what? A lineage of people that own and run the central bank. All right, that's in control of the monetary system. So then that's how you know that Esau, Edom is the so-called white man in Zebulon, and that they are ruling. So if you're going to point the finger, point it at them. It says, and though he pretend to help thee, oh yeah, I'm going to pretend to help you. Come get these shots. Never mind the side effects. Never mind the millions of people that died from it. Never mind the celebrities that died from it. The health complications it could cause you. Oh, don't worry about that. Eternal bleeding. Oh, don't worry about that. You're going to be fine. Matter of fact, take another shot, and then another shot. So this is what these devils do. All right. They act like they're going to help you, but they have ulterior motives. They're trying to kill you. All right. They're trying to put you to death to maintain what? Their New World Order agenda and what's written on the Georgia Guidestones. All right. So it says, and though he pretend to help thee, right, yet shall he undermine thee. Because if he's helping you, all right, he's helping you for his own benefit. He's helping you so that you can rely on the government, get comfortable, collect your unemployment, your stimulus checks and all that, right? So that when he shuts everything down, whether it's through a major false flag attack, it could be a cyber attack, all right? You can see the social conditioning that's going on with the man-made famines. There's so many things that this devil is capable of doing to get you to comply. And the only ones, according to the scriptures, Matthew 24:24, that won't be deceived is the elect of the nation of Israel, all right? The seed line of you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians that believe according to the scriptures, that call upon the name of Yahweh and Yahawashi in truth and sincerity, that's teaching the correct doctrine, all right, that has the right faith according to the scriptures. So this is what this devil is doing, all right? He's the one that's causing these man-made famines so that he can get you to comply with his agenda. Because remember, he's subtile. Now, this is Genesis 3:1. Now, when you get the correct understanding from the men of the Lord, beginning with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone on down, you start learning about reincarnation. You start understanding that every individual that's on the planet Earth, they were here plenty of generations ago, and that they lived and died and came back in their lot, whether it's to be righteous or wicked. The so-called white man is no different, all right? Esau, the actual man Esau and his lineage is no different. Cain is no different, all right? The serpent, no different. When you understand the scriptures, you understand in the reincarnation, when you link it up and when you learn from the men of the Lord, that the serpent came back in the reincarnation as Cain and then Esau on down, all right? So Esau has the same characteristics as the serpent. Why? Because it's the same spirit. This is Genesis 3:1. It says, now the serpent, and the serpent was a man, all right? Even Paul understood that when you read the book of 2 Corinthians, all right? Because it goes into that, how Eve was deceived by his subtlety. It goes into that. This is Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent, which was an actual man, right? The sons of the wicked, because you had three classifications of men back during the time of the Garden of Eden. You had the sons of the power, which if you can receive that, that was the Israelites back then, before they were called Israelites, right? But you had the sons of the Most High, right? The sons of Yahweh, which is the chosen lineage. Then you had the sons of men, which is the other nations. And then you had the sons of the wicked, which were the descendants of the serpent and Cain, right? So it says, now the serpent was more subtle. Now let's go into this word subtle. See what it says.
Strong's H, 6175. Arum. Arum. Second entry. Arom. Arom.
What did it say? Subtle, shrewd, crafty. Isn't this devil crafty? That's why I read about social conditioning. All right, how he can deceive you into believing the propaganda, the lies on the news, to believing that, yeah, a fire really started. You know, a mysterious fire, it just happens out of nowhere. Even concerning, you know, the Amazon rainforest and these different wildfires that's been happening in California. Oh, the weather is hot, you know. This is what they tell you. And people just eat it up in stupidity, you know. Oh, the weather is hot and that caused the fire. No, that's not what happened. They're the ones that caused the fire, whether it's through satellite technology, however they did it, but they're the ones that start these fires, just like how they start the famines and the different false flag attacks. So they're crafty. What makes them crafty? Because not every individual on this planet Earth is aware to this devil's agendas. They live their whole life in darkness. It says sly, sensible, all right? Crafty, shrewd, sensible, prudent. And the word prudent, it means wise, because this devil is wise, all right? He is wise. The scriptures tell you that what? How he acquires a diligent search. And then remember what he told Eve. If you eat of these philosophies, meaning if you learn of these philosophies, all right, you're going to know good and evil. So this devil is wise, all right? So now going back, Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, all right? Meaning of all men in the field. The field is the world. The precepts to link that up, that's in Matthew, the 13th chapter. Tells you the field is the world. It says, which the Lord power, and the word Lord is in caps. So let's talk about the God of Israel, Yahweh, right? Yahweh power had made. And he said unto the woman, yeah, have the Most High said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And we understand that the tree represents what? You know, the tree of knowledge of knowing good and evil. But metaphorically speaking, the people will liken unto trees too. And the precepts that back that up, that's in Ezekiel, the 31st chapter, the first couple of verses, all right? But the reason I'm bringing this out is to show you the characteristics of the serpent, which was Cain, which is now Esau, Edom, and his seed line, all right? Now, this is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 7. And these are all the signs that we are seeing, and this for our benefit as the elect of the nation of Israel, to understand and to know that Yahushua is getting ready to come back based off of the signs in the scriptures and what's occurring in the world. Matthew 24:7. For nation shall rise against nation. We're seeing that. And kingdom against kingdom. We're seeing that, right? The different countries fighting against each other, threatening each other of war, right? And there shall be famines, right? Famines in multiple areas in the world. But the focal point of prophecy is here in Babylon the Great, which is America, all right? And you're going to have two type of famines. You're going to have a famine of the word, which is what? Of not hearing the true gospel that's being preached by the elect, beginning with the apostles of Great Millstone on down to us young brothers of Great Millstone and the true followers and believers worldwide. You know, Lord willing, we endure to the end. So you're going to have two type of famines, and then you're going to have the traditional famine, in which this is what this video is about, a lack of food supply, a particular seed line of people that's in power that's causing these famines so that you can comply with their agendas, right? It says, and pestilences with an S. What's the main pestilence or disease outbreak that's going on right now? You already know what it is, all right? The something 19. It says, and earthquakes in diverse places. So all these things will be happening simultaneously all at the same time. So this is how we know we're in that time that Yahushua is getting ready to come back. All right. And then it goes on to say all these are the beginning of sorrows, because there's still more prophecies that have to take place before Yahushua comes back. So now I'm going to read this. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 74 through 75. And then I'm going to close the video up. It says, "Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord." Who's the Lord's beloved? The elect of the nation of Israel. What makes us beloved? Because Yahweh, through Yahushua, having mercy on us, which is grace, that what? He gave us this truth through his only begotten son, Yahushua, and that we're glorifying the Lord. All right? It says, "Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord." And ultimately, it just comes down to predestination. All right? The first fruits, the first spirits created. We're the beloved of Yahweh Yahushua. It says, "Behold, the days of trouble are at hand." What's the days of trouble? What the scriptures talk about, the days of Jacob's trouble. All right? And it says, "are at hand." Now, when you actually search that phrase up, "at hand," on Google, right, it says nearby, readily accessible when needed, close in time, about to happen. So Jacob's trouble is about to happen. These are the birth pains, all right? These are the labor pains, metaphorically speaking, that what? That Jacob's trouble is getting ready to take place, according to the scriptures, pursuant to Jeremiah 30 and 7, which is going to involve what? The global economic collapse, all right? Crime being up at an all-time high. You seeing that? Inflation, which is going to lead to hyperinflation, all right? The gas prices is going to soar up. The oil prices is going to soar up. It's going to be very difficult for people to survive in society. And who's staging all that? The Edomites, all right? Beginning with the central bankers on down. They're doing that on purpose through the will of the Lord to get you to comply and depend on the government. Because the government, they want to implement this. So they want you to rely on them, all right? They want you to go to them for aid. They want you on your knees, all right? So when they implement their agenda, which is to make this mandatory throughout all countries, you won't have a problem with it, because you've always been going to the government instead of having faith on the Lord. All right. So it says, "The days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same." Yeah, so us brothers and sisters that's in the truth, and this involves, you brothers in the truth that have families, you have kids. Yahushua will deliver you and your household, because the scriptures talk about that household salvation. What's the examples of that according to the scriptures? Noah, right? You had the Philippian jailer in Acts, the 16th chapter, I think. I think it's around verse 30, all right? And then you got the man himself, Cornelius, all right? Which Cornelius, he was an Israelite. So it says, "But I will deliver you from the same." And that links up with Revelation 3 and 10, Isaiah 65, so forth and so on. "Be ye not afraid." We don't need to be afraid. Prophecy is happening for our benefit, so that Yahushua could come back and we could receive the rewards and all the benefits of the kingdom. So we don't need to be afraid, neither doubt. You don't need to doubt, because that's opposite of faith. Having faith is trusting in Yahweh and Yahushua, and trusting in their promise that they will make prophecy come to pass and everything else in the scriptures, right? So you don't need to doubt. "For the Most High is your God." So Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Yahweh, through Yahushua is our God, all right? He has set up the apostles of Great Millstone, the elders, the different brothers and prophets and teachers of Great Millstone to be our God, to give us the understanding of the scriptures through Yahushua's sacrifice. All right, so, hey, man, we need to just be happy, and Lord willing, we endure. Be happy that prophecy is coming to pass for our benefit. Shalom.